Hey, it's me, your favorite hairstylist, and I want to go through what are the trends, the hair trends for 2022. So I went to behindthechair.com, which collect a lot of different artists, their prediction, their review of what's trendy in 2022. So let's dive right into it. So let's scroll down here. Okay, to the first one, of course, very timeless. This is a natural inversion. It's a one length haircut with a forward graduation, so it's cut forward, and it also has inverted layers on the top. We have that here somewhere. So here, for example, here, this is exactly what that hairstyle is. It's a forward graduation, so that means it's slightly layered on the front and then overhead layers and brought, and it gets thicker as you go to the bottom. So think of an A shape kind of a layering technique. This way the perimeter stays full. Very, very important. This one down here, this one is a forward graduation only. As you can see right here is the forward graduation. And this is very similar to, let me see where we have it here. Here. This is a forward graduation right here. So these are classic haircuts. So it's really interesting because a lot of the predictions or the trends for 2022 seem to be long hair and bob oriented. So let's go back to the next hairstyle here. This is just Voluminous Bob. This for me, well, it's a little bit dry looking. It's a little bit 1980s looking. It's not bad, but it's not something I would put my name on it. This is very classic. This is like a timeless hairstyle. And again, this is forward graduation, as you can see here, right? The layering right here. It has fairly strong bangs and it has layers. So these layers are overhead layers here. This is very, very similar to what I showed you earlier. And this is actually something we've done with a couple of our models on our, let me see, a while ago here. You can see right here, there are some layers. These are some very soft layers. There's a forward graduation and overhead layers. Now, if you go with this one, for example, this is one length, and it has a slight forward graduation. You can see it here in this picture here. So it's one length down here. There's a photo shoot we did a while back. This is one length back here, but it does have a little bit of a forward graduation to it because she has extremely fine hair, and you have to be really careful with the layering if you're dealing with very fine hair. But this is basically a one length with a forward graduation, where this one here is forward graduation with some layers. And you can see the layers actually in here. If you look closer, while she jumps, we had the models jump because this way you can kind of see the layering. And as you can see, there are layers, but they're very long layers, and this is another shot right here when she bends forward. It is a one length haircut, as you can see, one length, but then here on the side are some layers. They're kind of hard to see right here. Let me see if we have another picture of that. But I believe, yeah, I think that is the only picture we have of that. Oh, here's another one where you can kind of see the layers as she swings it back. See it a little bit there. There was another shot I had somewhere, but I can't seem to find it now. Anyway, let's go back to the next hairstyle. This is a very classic bob. It's a great bob, and I like it because it is slightly shorter in the back. So sooner we started this long time ago. When you cut the hair shorter in the back and leave it a little bit longer in the front, by laws of physics, it pushes the hair forward. So a woman, when they look in the mirror, they want to see hair. They want to have just a few strings hanging down. They want to actually see hair. So I started this years ago already, where I cut maybe the back an inch or inch and a half shorter than the sides, and it just pushes the volume forward. And there's a few examples here that we're gonna I can show you later on as well. But this is a very great timeless bob, and it's a very one length, not shattered, one length and not layered bob. This one, also same thing. See how it's a little bit shorter in the back and it comes forward. It just gives it so much of a kick, so much of a style than having it rounded off, which was the old-fashioned way, which there's, I think, one picture in here. Okay, this one here, well, again, I would chop this off here. I would just have it shorter in the back, and it would just make such a different look. And also it would bring out her cheekbones, which is very important to accentuate the features a woman has. Also very nice bob, really, really well done, really beautiful, just clean. Again, a little bit higher in the back would be okay, but it's a very nice bob, really, really beautiful. This one is more like a transient haircut, and a transient haircut is when you have a forward graduation, some layers, some inversion layers, but you're actually rounding them off. And we may have a picture somewhere. This is transient, for example, as well. And so is this one. So it's very similar to what you see here. It's just styled differently, but it's the same cutting technique. Timeless haircut, goes forever. She obviously has a lot of hair. And the shadowed bangs are great because they're not very strong. They're just kind of soft and kind of blending into the rest of the haircut, which is really, really beautiful. Very similar, like I said, to this haircut here. And then let's go on to the next one. Again, see, interesting. You see here, it's a little bit short on the back. What does it do? It pushes all the volume forward. So this is what women love to see. They want to see hair. When they look in the mirror, they want to see volume. They want to see hair. And the bangs are kind of shadowed, kind of not straight across, which would be a wrong thing to do right here. And actually, all the straight lines are kind of gone. So this is not the trend right now. I mean, you will always see the classic bob, but the majority right now is soft lines, shadowed, broken up perimeters. Very, very, very beautiful, beautiful haircut. This is very similar, round, a little bit rounded off on the top. Again, also kind of side swooped bangs. Well, this one, I think all I see is a round ball. And, you know, no discredit or disrespect to the stylist, but when you have a round face like that and you put round, big hair around it, you're going to accentuate the roundness. So everything looks like a big round ball. What I would do here is I would cut at least half of this, remove half of this volume here. Just make it more narrow and cover her cheekbone a little bit. So this way the round face is kind of sort of concealed or hidden. That would really be great. And she's got beautiful hair. And a little bit more volume at the top. It looks too flat. So for her round face, in my opinion, this doesn't really, it's not my kind of thing. This, very timeless. And also again, one length haircut, a little bit of forward graduation, long curtain bangs, blended into the sides. Beautiful, really beautiful done, and very organic looking, very natural, organic looking, absolutely gorgeous. That is definitely a style that's the current right now. This is interesting. This reminds me, some of you may not even remember that, but this reminds me of Goldie Hawn, the actress in 1970s. Exactly, well, very similar, just a little bit more cleaner, a little bit, hers was a bit more messy. But look at the bangs, same thing. The fringe is very broken up, very textured, very soft, very sexy. Timeless look and easy to take care of. Really great. This is a great one here. Well, this one, they call it a Pixie Cut. I would call it a Pixie Cut. But anyway, if I would use clamps or like hair accessories like that, I would try to do a finger waving, which is 1920s finger waving. It's very difficult to do and it takes a lot of practice, but it looks absolutely gorgeous, especially if you have the hair so flat against the head and it looks almost like a wet look. Then finger waving would be good. I'm not sure why she has her eyes closed. Maybe she's dreamy or they wanted to show off the fluorescent makeup in the corner of the eye. But that's the only thing I would say here. Not so much the style. This is a typical, very common round layer haircut, curly hair. And again, see, here's the opposite. So it's rounded off on the sides and longer in the back. This was, I was talking about this earlier. With straight hair, you want to have it the opposite. You have to have this corner filled here. This is a round layer haircut, also kind of timeless. You know, you put basically a round layer haircut means according to the head shape. So you just lift everything up 90 degrees and you cut it and you have this kind of textured effect. Same thing here, it's kind of round layers with a little bit of longer top. This is, yeah, well, it's a similar cut. Again, it's long. She has massive hair. She has long hair. You can see the layers right through here. So they're also short on the top and longer towards the bottom in order to retain the full perimeter. And side swept bangs. So interesting things about the side swept bangs, if you have them asymmetric, then on one side you comb it that side, it is bangs, and if you comb it the other side, you have no bangs. So that's the interesting thing about switch fringe. They call it a switch fringe, developed by Tony and Guy a long time ago. Very, very interesting, and it's very fun because it's a versatile hairstyle. That's very much in as well. But as you can see, most of the styles here, they're all long right now. There's bob and long hair. That's really, there's really not much variety in the current hair trends that they believe is trendy right now. Let's see, this one is actually beautiful. Let's see, this one is exactly what I'm talking about. So the back is most likely shorter because you can see in the front, there's a lot of volume, there's a lot of hair, you can see hair, right? And what I like about this is the champagne color. We did that actually, I did it on a model, on a client a while back. It was this one here. She had dark hair. And we highlighted her hair really, really heavily, made it blonde. We wanted a very organic, messy kind of look. And I put a champagne color over it, a rosé color over it. And she actually had to go back to Switzerland and change the color because they're very conservative there. She went for a job interview, so she came to LA and then went back. Which is kind of sad because I don't think it's that dramatic, but for them, obviously it was. And I gave her a formula to take home to remove it, and it worked out fine. But that is it's the same thing here. It's the same girl. Gorgeous girl, and really I think the hair color just fits her super nice with the skin tone. And also this is a timeless haircut too. I mean, I would call this trendy as well. Another natural inversion example, this is what I did not too long, well, it's a while back, same thing, see? It's the same thing where there's a forward graduation here and then overhead layers. Natural inversion keeps the perimeter full, timeless haircut. Classic, definitely a classic haircut. Here we were just goofing off a little bit. And let's go back to the next one. So this is beautiful. I really like this. It's varied, and I like the side swept bangs. Everything's great. Look, her skin tone works really well with the different shades of rosé or champagne color. It's a little bit darker in here. There's variations in here, which I really, really love. Well, guys' haircuts. Okay, this is like tipped bleach tips. Not so much the thing anymore. I don't know if that would be something that I would call trendy right now. This one, let's see what this one is. Okay, so interesting. See, this is exactly what I meant earlier. For me personally, I mean, it's a beautiful haircut. I'm not knocking it, but I would love it if this would extend out to here. This one right here would be longer in the front and shorter in the back. This is just very traditional, very conservative in a way. It's beautiful, but again, it's not really something I would do. Okay, let's go back. And this one, very similar. It's a very beautiful haircut, absolutely gorgeous, great model and everything. But think of it this way: if this would be cut off, if this would be leveled off in the back, how much sharper this would look. And it would also accentuate her cheekbones. It would open up the cheekbones a little bit, because when you bring this up, it lifts it more. She has more lift. So that would be what I would do here. But still, it's very trendy, very classic haircut. Same thing here. Bob, layered, not layered, curly obviously, and looks like one length. There could be some layers in here. Slightly layered, round layered. This is again a bob, see, where it's short on the back. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful how it comes forward, pushes the volume forward. She has fine hair, it looks like it, so it's very important that the volume is being pushed forward. Same thing here, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bob, all one length, no layers. As you can see, it's all coming down to one length here. And again, it looks short on the back. And look how much volume she has in the front. Just because you're cutting an inch short on the back, it pushes it all forward. It's really gorgeous, beautiful. This one I love, timeless style too. This is a one length haircut. Curly, this is also one length haircut. Some layers here. This is maybe transient layers, possibly, but same thing again, shorter layers on the top. One length haircut here, one length here. This is also a bob. It's interesting because it's a layered bob. It's an interesting way of styling it. Kind of reminds me of the movie, what was it with Cameron Diaz? Something about Mary, where she has that stuff in the hair. Anyway, it's beautiful bob, absolutely great, great cut here, I love it. And look, that length brings out her cheekbones, it accentuates her cheekbones right here. If they would have been longer, not good. Right there, it's actually very good. Could even be a little bit shorter. This one, well, I'm sure it's a great haircut. For me, it's not finished. I would either put some waves in the top, maybe some curls, but again, it's a very kind of out of shower, beachwear kind of haircut or hairstyle. One length, I don't see any layers in here at all, no forward graduation, it's all one length. Again, it's a little bit shorter here. I would do it the other way around, have this a little bit longer, but beautiful. This is like, to me, if this is a hair trend, I think this is, no disrespect, this is old fashioned. This was 2000, 2004, 2003, 2002. We used to do a lot of these hair colors. We know big stripe blonde and then either reddish brown in the back or brown in the back. That kind of is gone, I think. I don't see that much anymore, but if they think it's trendy, again, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. This one is a great cut. This one is absolutely nice because, again, it's probably very graduate in the back, very short, so it's above the hairline, above the ear. So the hairline is down here. and it's going to go up, and it's going to be very textured, and then the long hair comes over. And this is really nice because it's all one length here. See, one piece, and this is exactly coming from the back, short into long. It just has such a different look, such a stylish, and has such a kapow. It has a really like boom, something like you notice when you walk around the corner and you see a woman like that with that kind of haircut. You just kind of wow. You have to just kind of look at it and be astonished. I think it's beautiful. Classic bob again. Very classic, yeah. Hard line, this is a very hard line. So this is the first one we really see a hard line here. So the hard lines are definitely going away. So like the really straight bobs, fringes on the top, it's kind of going away. This hard line like this is still around. The classic will always be around, but it's not in trend right now. It's not what people are asking for when they come into my chair. Again, classic bob, one length. This is not bad either. The only thing here is, again, I would have the back shorter. Imagine you have this all cut off here, right here. All this is cut off. It's angled. It would look so much better. It would really pop, you know. I mean, it's nice the way it is, very organic looking, but I would cut this off a little bit shorter. And this is very classic. This is like, you know, this has been around forever and probably will be. Not so much my thing, but it's a reddish color with lots of layers in here. This could even be round layers or transient layers, so they're a little bit more aggressive. Transient layers are a little bit further than just taking this piece on the top and have it go longer. Instead of having that A line, it's just going to be rounded off a bit, so you have more layering on the bottom right here. This to me looks just a little bit too dry. It's just either overworked or over bleached. It just looks very dry and could be finished a little bit differently, so it looks healthier in my opinion. Definitely needs LRM right here. Yeah, layered bob. This is a nice transient haircut. So again, just like I was saying earlier, you have the shadowed fringe, you have the layers, and usually with inversion layers, you would cut an A shape here, but this is an A shape plus rounded. So depending on how much density of hair you have, you can round it more or less. This one here, you have quite a bit of real estate to work with, so you can round it off quite a lot and have this beautiful tousled curly look here. Anyway, this is about it, I think, and another bob here. And the bob, see, again, the bobs are shadowed, not straight lines, but they're shadowed, and they're softer here. A little bit too rounded, you know, a little bit too, I would have, again, take this corner off. And another bob, and another bob. And long hair, again, curtain bangs, long curtain bangs. Very trendy, of course, that will always be timeless. Curly, round layer haircut. Not too much my thing. And that is about, yeah, and here's another one. Again, curtain bangs, shadowed perimeter, one length haircut. Here you can see with Jessica, we did have forward graduation. You know, we have them swing their hair so you can see kind of the haircut, the different way of seeing the haircut, seeing the layers. And there's a forward graduation, but no real layers, where the other one here, let me just find it really quick. Where was it? Here. This one has a forward graduation and layers on the top, and you can see that right here. So shorter on the top, and then it gets longer. So she's just swinging it, so it's kind of all over the place. Same thing here. You can see the layering. So it starts short and goes into long, and it comes right down here. So you can really see how the layering is cut and what kind of benefit this layering has. You know, this is layered textured bob, also nice. Again, no straight lines. It's how much softer. The trends are much softer. Females want softer looks right now. Still have a bob style hairstyle, but softer look. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. This is the same thing here, and we've seen this before. Again, this is a transient haircut. It's some nice work here. There's just some different things that I would do. These were the biggest hair trends for 2022. And let me see if I have any in here. This was something I did too. This is a bob, for example. This was more of a shadowed line here as well. And then going into, let me see, bring this down a bit, there we go. This is a very textured bob actually. And see, again, oops, let me go back here real quick. And again, like I was talking about here, shorter in the back, long in the front, just brings it in so much better. I like it so much better. This is a lot of layers, a layered bob. This is something I shot about 4 years ago, maybe. Anyway, these are the hair trends. If you have any questions or if you want to leave some comments, please do so in the comment section, which style you like the best. If you like long hair or bob or textured bob. And if you can like and share and distribute, I would greatly appreciate it. It'd be great for my business. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.